Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I have a replay again from Lord. I think we had a whole conversation in in the comment section last time about how to say this guy's name, but Kubazet. I'm just gonna call him Cub just for the sake of getting his name right for most of this video. So Cub is here in the Tier 8 Soviet tech line battleship, the Vladivostok. So the Vladivostok is, well, it's the first Russian battleship I got. I got it in one of the preview containers during the Soviet battleship event. And, well, it's definitely a mixed bag. Highly reliant on kind RNG. Because the guns, they're not all that accurate. They can be from about 13 kilometers inward, but even sometimes at like 10, 8, 9, sometimes even at like 5 kilometers away, RNGs will still take your shells and throw them everywhere except for where you intended them to go. So besides that aspect of the battleship, it is a Soviet battleship, which, oh my lord, guys, I'm sorry, it has been a long day for me. It is a Soviet battleship, which means that it has a limited number of damage cons. They recharge incredibly fast, but he only has 5 of them. And on top of that, he also, it looks like he does not have Superintendent. No, I'm sorry, he does have Superintendent, because I forgot. These Soviet battleships get one less hill for some reason, too. I can understand the Kremlin getting one less hill than the other, than the normal battleship, but I don't know why ships like the Vladivostok and the Sovietsky Soyuz does, because they aren't all that incredibly tanky like the Kremlin, but I digress. Anyway, so you have a limited number of damage cons and a smaller number of repair parties. He also has his fighter equipped with premium too, may I add. So he's all premiumed out as far as his consumables go. So that's another thing to mention about the Vladivostok with its AA is that it doesn't have all of that fantastic AA. Oh, here we go. He's about to have his opening shot on this AOBA right here. So that dispersion right there is actually pretty dang good for the Vladivostok. Except it's a bunch of overpins. That's another uniquely Soviet feature, that the guns on the ship, they have incredibly fast velocity and incredibly good pin. But on cruisers, even broadside cruisers, and sometimes even if they're angled shallow enough, you will be getting nothing but overpins, and it is extremely frustrating. I've been on the receiving end. Well, I've been on the receiving end of the overpins, being that I've played the Soviet battleship line, and it is extremely frustrating. There, the Oba was turning. He managed to get 1 pin on him. He managed to get 6,000 damage off of that. So he's over here. Oh, by the way, the map is the Two Brothers, a map that is actually one of my favorite maps in the game. This map has that, of course, that famous mid channel where many a mid rush has been attempted, and it has been met with various results. So he's pushing along the western side of the map, and he's got, ooh, there we go, just took out the AOBA. I don't know how he did. It looked like he was the AOBA was probably turning, and he called him mid-turn and managed to citadel him. So he's got a Tirpitz in front of him, along with the Charles Martel off to his left. So he's deciding to keep his bow point with the Tirpitz, a good call. The Tirpitz does not have all of that fantastic accuracy, but those German 15-inch guns sure do bite pretty hard. And ooh, he manages to show the island, who's also right there. And good God, the Charles Martel manages to burn out the Dunkirk. Although it does look like the Lexington just took a dump on him. And then I think the Charles managed to take over his fire. And ooh, just too high there. And I'm not following the shells, by the way. That is Cub. I'm assuming he's doing that because he's trying to get an idea of where the Charles is hugging. Ooh, is how the Charles is hugging that island right there. He took a hit from the curve first in the front, but again his bow is pointing toward him, so it all bounced. Now, there's one thing about the Vladivostok. It does have really good bow armor, and it can bounce even Yami shells if angled properly. Another overpin on the Charles Martel, even though he's hitting him dead center. Gets his front 2 turrets off. Dispersion isn't that bad that time, but ooh, more overpins. Does get 1 pin there to bite. Now he is on fire. And he's holding his damage count because that Charles is still just sitting right in front of him, and the Molotov in the rear too is also taking a chunk out of him. And let's see, Charles has managed to collide with the island right here, 9 kilometers away. Now, the thing about the Soviet battleships, 9 kilometers should be in their sweet zone, so all of these salvos should be really, really tight. I'll let you see how that goes. Yeah, the salvos are not tight, and he's getting nothing but overpins when he does manage to hit. Which, from this angle, he should actually be getting pinned because he has the whole length of the ship for the shell to travel up once it makes contact with the stern. But it does look like they were landing somewhere about midship, but still, it's frustrating. So broadside Molotov pumping AP into the side of Cub's Vladivostok. And no purchase for the Molotov. Charles Martel is now sitting somewhat angled, so if these connect, they should pin. 1 pin, 1 overpin. Again, at this range, the grouping here should be much, much, much better from the Vladivostok. That Turpus is still alive, if you were wondering. Now, on the plus side, Cub's team has managed to discover the enemy carrier, if you can't tell from all the planes flying around and all the AA guns going off right now. So, the teams are also doing a ring around the rosy type of deal, and ooh, that really should have been a much better hit on the Charles right there. The enemy team is pushing up east, Cub's team is pushing down west. There we go, manages to finish off the Charles Martel, finally for his 2nd kill of the game. And ooh, looks like that Cleveland is about to eat, oh, he did eat, looked like 2 torpedoes from the Lexington. Molotov is still just keeping on Cub right now. Akazuki manages to take out the Tirpitz with a torpedo salvo, so now it's just a Lexington in front of Cub. But the enemy team is now capping Cub's base. And the issue is there's only a carrier and 1 battleship over by the friendly cap. That is the Normandy. So, if you can tell by the minimap, it looks like the destroyer has just managed to peek its way into the edge of the cap circle and is more than likely sitting in smoke. You see the Saipans flying around, desperately trying to spot the destroyer that is capping the point. Now, if he could spot him, the Normandy can shoot him all day, but the issue is he can't spot him right now. Does look like the Saipan, judging by the minimap, took a blind run at the destroyer that is hiding in smoke, but to no avail. Ooh, that... Akatsuki also takes out the Lexington with a torpedo salvo, and Cub is still just continuing to get nothing but overpins and the occasional pin from enemy cruisers. So, that Normandy up north either needs to get his butt into the cap or needs to see that destroyer and shoot him in order to reset the cap. But destroyer is still hiding in smoke. And he's not going to be able to get too close to that cap because if you also look at the minimap, there are 2 enemy cruisers moving in on the cap as well. Now the Normandy is a French battleship, which, again, just like the Vladivostok, have really, really good pins. So on broadside cruisers, they cannot get that well of hits off on them. So I'm sure he's trying to do everything he can in this situation. And Cub still here trying to deal with this Molotov and still just getting pins over and over and over. Enemy destroyer has been spotted. Luckily, the Saipan did have his rocket planes out, and unfortunately, though, the Akazuki manages to take out the friendly Normandy. So that means there are no ships up north now that can even use their artillery. Saipan's all ran off all the way to the west, and he doesn't have any main battery guns. He's a carrier, but he can keep throwing his planes at those in the cap. But since there's multiple ships and 2 of them are cruisers, his planes aren't going to be able to do that much damage. Anyway, back to Cub here. He has ran across the enemy Gneiss now as he is pushing into the enemy cap. Gets some nice pins off on him. It seems like the gunners on the Vladivostok finally sobered up. And he's looking up the challenge thinking, okay, I think I need to go up there. Got all these enemies in front of me, but I think I really need to go up there and contest that cap. But he also has to deal with this Gneisenau before he can do anything. Now, this is dangerous what he's doing here. He's showing his broadside to the Gneisenau. Even from this ranges, the Gneisenau guns can hit his Citadel pretty hard. But he manages to get all 9 of his guns off, gets a nice chunk off on that Gneisenau, even though he's angled, and you're seeing those Soviet pins coming into play here. His seconders are going off. He's still watching the channel, seeing if there's any torps coming off of him. And look at that bounce off of the Gneisenau's guns. That's how good the armor is on the Vladivostok. From the Akatsuki gets another kill. I think that's this Akatsuki's 3rd kill. And the other 2 kills are from Cub here in the Vladivostok. So they're kind of carrying this team pretty hard right now. So the Saipan's doing everything he can up north to stop the teams from capping. So Leander's coming out broadside on to the Vladivostok. Leander, British cruiser, famous for being a floating citadel. Here we go. And nothing. Oh, 3,000 damage in overpins to the Leander. Algerie coming up next. Again, broadside on. 5 kilometers away. Just showing Cub his entire broadside. More than likely dumping torpedoes at this point. Definitely since he wasn't even firing at him. So there's the torpedoes from what I'm assuming is the Leander. And there are the torpedoes from the Algerie. Alright, so he's taking aim right at the waterline, and nothing. 3 overpins right to the Citadel. Oh, been there, done that. Hated it. Now, my thing about Citadel overpins is I understand that you're overpinning the Citadel, but maybe since you are hitting the Citadel, which contains the most important parts of the ship, maybe those overpins should do a little bit more damage. You know, that's just my thing. It's frustrating when this happens, because Cub is being a good battleship player. He's pushing, Akatsuki right in front of him, angled. Goodbye. Doesn't matter, overpin or not, that guy was dead. So that is Cub's 3rd kill this game. Cub does a really smart thing here and slows down before going, crossing this corner, because, again, there are more torpedoes just waiting for him. So the Algerie is more than likely dumping even more torpedoes in his direction at this point. 2 kilometers away. Oh boy, will he overpin them again, or will he Citadel them finally? Again, Saipan doing a great job keeping the enemy spotted here. Overpin 3 kilometers away, and nothing. The hilarity of him getting Confederate after getting pretty much straight overpins on every ship he's come across is not lost on me. So, Akatsuki charges up out of nowhere like an absolute rock star. He gets 2 salvo torpedoes off on that Algerie. Why that Algerie didn't turn, I don't know, but bye-bye, Algerie. And there we go. Akatsuki's 4th kill this game. Now Leander coming up out of the smoke. 5 kilometers away. He is slightly angled, so these should bite a bit harder. But no, 5 overpins and a ricochet for 6,000 damage. Unfortunately, the Leander takes out the Akatsuki before he can kill any more of the enemy team. I'm assuming he probably would have killed the rest of them if he hadn't been stopped. So now Cub is charging this Leander in his own friendly cap. Again, broadside on, 5-ish kilometers away from Cub and his Vladivostok. Let's see. Pins, overpins, citadels. Let's see how this rolls. Now, he was sharply angled there, so finally he got some decent pins on that Leander, but not enough to finish him off. Tries to dodge as much as he can, but he still takes 1 torpedo here. Leander bow into the Vladivostok. There we go. That time the shell bit because he was bow in, and no more Leander. Ironically, if that Leander had been broadside, he possibly could have survived that and managed to get the torpedoes off on Cub before Cub could have sunk him. But anyway, that's not what happened. So Cub's on his 4th kill here. So he's already saved the game in one way, that he's stopped the cap of the friendly cap with some assistance from the Akatsuki and the carrier. So now if you look at the points, enemy team is ahead. So Cub's got to go back down the channel and go back to the enemy cap and see what he can do about that now. Game's not over yet. 5 minutes left on the clock. And And friendly Pensacola managed to take out the Normandy. So now, Cubs team does currently have the points advantage. If you see like a nice one over there, he's not looking too hot. I mean, by not looking too hot, he's probably burning right now. But no, he's actually not burning right now because his health isn't going down. But he's at really low health. He's in a Ganice, and now he's facing a New Mexico and an Ismail. Both ships are really good at... Oh, there goes the Pensacola. Some of the points have swung back in the enemy team's favor. Both ships are really good at medium range. New Mexico's really, really good at medium range, and it shells heart aplenty. And Ganice is at 4,900 health. And New Mexico, by the way, his name is Lady Wang. Addison, is that your girlfriend, wife, or whatever? Like, I think like 10 of y'all will get that joke. So, also, Cub situation. He's out of heals and he's out of planes. And he's got 1 damage con left. So, and there goes the Ganice. So now it's 274 to 393. Something has to be done in order for a Cubs team to win this. So there's that Molotov. Molotov, Firestarter. Cub has 1 damage con left. Gives the Molotov his full broadside. Molotov is slightly angled. And what a surprise. 2 overpans. Even the Saipan's doing what he can to get the Molotov down. There's a fire. He has to put this out or let it burn. He doesn't have the health to just let this fire burn fully. So Cub's going into this little hidey hill right here, turning his ship around, and now he's putting the fire out. So, tough situation. Enemy team is up to 407 points right now. He's the last, well, ship they can actually get into a fight left on his team. He has to go in there, stop those caps, and sink at least 2 of those ships to win this game. And that's what he's going to try to do. So here we go. He looks like he's going to try for a bow and approach, which of course makes the most sense since, again, it's the Vladivostok, has amazing bow armor, but he really needs to get that Molotov down first. That Molotov can easily burn away the last 26,000 of his hit points. So Saipan is going in and keeping the enemy spotted for him so he knows where they're at. Now Molotov, he's bowing right now. If he could get a salvo off right now, and if it makes contact, this is more than likely going to finish the Molotov. And that's exactly what it does. There's Kraken Unleashed. So that's 1 down. Points are 341 to 375 right now. I think it's going to tick over 1 more time. There we go, 377. And, ooh, again. There is that amazing bow armor there. Completely bounced the shots from the Ismail. Alright, 345 to 379. The clock is ticking now. Now, Cub is also at very, very low health. If he goes down, then that's it for the game. The Saipan, I doubt he'd be able to sink the Ismail and the New Mexico in time. So, Cub gets a good hit on the Ismail. Nothing too crazy, but it was a good hit. And the Ismail immediately starts to repair that damage. Oh, boy. So 2 minutes 35 seconds to cap, but there's only 1 minute and 38 seconds left in the game. So he has to make some magic happen here somewhere. 2 battleships against a battleship, an almost dead battleship, and a carrier. Ooh, Saipan gets a great hit on the New Mexico right there. So Cub is straight up charging these guys because he knows he has to do something. He can't depend on the points because if he goes down, then that's it. And again, it's very, very possible that one of these guys can get a lucky shot on him and just delete him from existence. So he's got to play this cautious, which he is. He's keeping this island in between himself and the 2 ships. He's moving up. Doesn't know where they're at. The carrier is coming back to provide him with spotting. And there we go. There's the New Mexico 4 kilometers away. And, ooh, great hit there. Again, showing those great Russian pins. So New Mexico has a choice to make. He can try to outgun Cub, which probably won't happen, or he can ram him. If he rams him, he'll take away their last artillery ship on the field, and he'll also take away the points that they need to win. Points are now just stabilizing and just crossing. Cubs team is now in the lead with 381 points to 379. New Mexico looks like he's trying to turn in, but he's also staying at an angle, and there we go. Cub just took out the New Mexico for his 6th kill of the game, just in time to secure a comfortable lead for his team. And 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the game. And man, what a game. Cub managed to save the game not once, but twice there. His actions there at the end, definitely, if he wouldn't have done that, they would not have won that game. So, an amazing game. He was getting screwed over by RNGs this entire game, by the way, if you guys didn't notice. Just the sheer amount of overpins and just really crappy dispersion on the Vladivostok from ranges that should have been really, really accurate for the ship. RNGs gave him the middle finger, and he gave RNGs the middle finger right back and went on to win the game for his team. And him and that Akazuki, my god, I'm pretty sure they killed, between the two of them, most of the enemy ships. I think the Pensacola managed to take one with him, because he got 6 and then the Akazuki got 4. So yeah, only 2 other ships sunk other ships on his team. Whew, boy, what a carry between the two of them. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, make sure you drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers. You guys have been doing an amazing job with making that happen. Also, if you have a replay you want to send in, the link is in the description down below. Feel free to send it in. Hope you're all having a wonderful Thursday. I hope to catch all of you guys in the next one.